Hey everyone, welcome back to another explainer. Today we're diving into something absolutely fascinating, the Masonic concept of the lost word. Using those ancient texts and symbolic philosophies we love to dig into, we're going to unpack what this centuries-old secret actually is, and more importantly, what it means for us today.
So let's just jump right in with the big question that esoteric thinkers have been asking for ages. Is the lost word literally just a word? A specific combination of syllables? Or is it a symbol for something way deeper? I mean, think about it. Would an entire profound philosophical system really base its whole existence on misplacing a literal noun? To get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at the roots of the legend.
All right, so the foundational Masonic legend revolves around the tragic death of Grand Master Hiram Abiff. The lore goes that he was murdered while King Solomon's temple was being built. And when he died, the ultimate sacred secret, this word, was totally lost to time. The uninitiated folks left behind, they just got a substitute. And man, that tragic loss sets up a quest that literally spans generations. But here's where we hit a massive logical paradox. The original sources explicitly tell us that 3 grandmasters actually knew the sacred word at the start, right? Only one of them, Hiram Abiff, was killed. The other 2 were totally alive and completely aware of it. So how exactly could a spoken word be lost if 2 guys still had it memorized? Yeah, it doesn't add up. We're definitely not looking for a sound here. Section 1. The power of names in antiquity, understanding the psychological weight of words.
Okay, so to understand what was actually lost, we need to remember that in antiquity, names were basically never handed out casually. They weren't just random labels like we use today. They were highly specific, descriptive tools meant to capture the exact, literal essence of a person or a physical place. Take the biblical story of Jacob. After having that dream of a ladder reaching up to heaven, he didn't just pick a cool-sounding name for the spot. He named it Bethel, which translates to House of God. He was defining its exact spiritual character.
And it goes even further than that. Whenever a person went through a massive shift in their fundamental character or spiritual circumstances, their identity was completely rewritten to match. You didn't just get a new title, you were literally stepping into a whole new spiritual reality. It's exactly like Jacob becoming Israel. In those days, your name fundamentally dictated exactly who you were. Which brings us to this super fascinating ancient Egyptian practice that the anthropologist James Fraser pointed out. Basically, everyone had a little name. That's the one the public knew. But they fiercely guarded a great name and kept it totally secret. Why? Well, because back then, knowing someone's true secret name meant you had power over their actual soul. Keeping it hidden was literally a defense mechanism to stop people from manipulating them. Now take that concept and apply it to the Creator, and it deepens immensely. Because the infinite simply cannot be boxed in or defined by a finite human mind, the whole quest to understand the hidden name of deity, well, it essentially becomes a metaphor. It transforms into the quest to understand ourselves, to figure out our own limitless inner nature. Section 2. Arthur E. Waite and the Spiritual Quest. Lifting the Veils of Allegory. So the occultist Arthur E. Waite looked at all these Masonic legends not as literal history, but as what he called veils of allegory. He made this really compelling argument that if you just cling strictly to the literal dictionary meaning of these rituals, you end up with a dead school. But if you actually bother to peek behind that veil, you discover a vibrant, breathing, living spiritual practice. It goes from being some dusty old history lesson to a genuinely lived experience. And for Waite, the absolute crucial takeaway is this. The quest for the word does not happen on some physical treasure map. It all happens inside. Look at the traditional Masonic pillars of wisdom, strength, and beauty. They aren't just cool architectural elements. They secretly represent deep, inward virtues, specifically faith, hope, and charity. The entire search takes place right within the boundaries of your own morality. Section 3. Not a word, but an instruction. J.D. Buck's revelation of the great work. All right, lifting yet another veil here, let's turn to the rigorous esoteric analysis of J.D. Buck. He goes right after that paradox we mentioned earlier, the whole unlossable vocal word thing. Since 2 masters obviously still possess the word after Hiram's death, Buck basically dares us to look far beyond just syllables. And Buck's conclusion is a real game changer. It makes things incredibly clear and pretty much redefines everything. He says the word was never a sound at all. No way. It was actually an active instruction manual for personal evolution and breaking free from ignorance. So what was truly lost was practical wisdom. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a complete step-by-step method for self-mastery, rather than just some magic noun. This instruction basically tells us that you don't suddenly become a master just by memorizing a secret handshake or whispering a hidden syllable. True awakening, that only comes through the grueling, persistent, everyday effort of self-control. The real goal is to set your soul free from what they call the demon of the threshold. And no, that's not some literal monster hiding in the dark. It's our own internal ignorance, our superstitions, and our fears. Overcoming all of that, that is the real secret.
Section 4, the magic formula, the search itself.
So all of these historical and psychological layers we've been talking about, they ultimately bring us to this beautiful philosophical resolution. The ritual itself, it's really just a symbolic map. Even if we literally never find some magic formula or hidden instruction manual, the continuous, active pursuit of truth is the magic. It's the very act of constantly searching, constantly questioning, and digging deep inward that actually draws us closer to enlightenment. The journey literally is the destination.
As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a profound thought to ponder. If the magic isn't actually hidden away in some ancient parchment or whispered in some dark secret room, but instead lies entirely within the sincerity of your own search, what are you truly looking for? Keep seeking, keep questioning, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.